To give us an insight into what's happening on ground, I'm joined by Tom Grundy. He's the editor-in-chief of Hong Kong Free Press, and he's joining us live from Hong Kong. Good evening, Tom. Let me begin by asking you, what has changed around you in your city in the last 24 hours?
Well, very late last night, Hong Kong finally got to see the national security law that has been shrouded in secrecy for some weeks. The text of the law finally went online just after 11 p.m. And now it's revealed the charges of subversion, secession, terrorism could hold sentences of 3 to 10 years. The city's leader will be selecting judges. New agencies from the mainland will be set up in Hong Kong, and there will be closed-door trials according to this new law. And on certain cases, China will be taking jurisdiction on these cases, and perhaps most unusually, even Indians, in fact, anyone in the world could be liable under this law if they somehow undermine, subvert state power. Should they pass through Hong Kong, it is thought that they could actually be arrested. It's unclear whether if you transit at the airport, you would still be liable, but there are these unusual clauses that would put pretty much anyone in the world liable under this new national security law.
On the mainland, China has often used the pretext of subversion to jail critics. Many in the press may fit China's definition of subversion, even in Hong Kong. The media in China is very different. I'm sure you appreciate that. Are you scared for your life, Tom?
Well, we know that this law is quite vaguely worded and broadly applied in the mainland, not least against the now deceased Nobel Prize winner, Liu Xiaobo. And it is thought that it could be applied across different sectors in Hong Kong. Academia, the arts, the media, they've all been concerned. And certainly journalists, at our news outlet are confused as to what it may mean in terms of what we can cover, who we can interview. Because the law isn't explicitly clear, but it does actually mention the media, and it does say that the government will have oversight. Whether that means we're going to get visits or they will try to somehow influence our operations is very unclear.
Also allows for the arrest of foreigners. Canada has issued a travel advisory for its citizens. You said that Indians and practically people from any part of the world could face action. Do you see an impact on Hong Kong's economy?
There has been a more pro-establishment business chamber that has said that they welcome this today, but the American Chamber of Commerce and others have been voicing concern for a long time. It is meant to be among the freest economies in the world, and people rely on having rule of law in the city, and they often come here because that is somewhat lacking in mainland China.
So what is Hong Kong expecting from the international community in general, and from India in particular, if anything at all?
Certainly Beijing has been calling upon the international community, including Chief Executive Carrie Lam at the Human Rights Council yesterday, to support this law and to respect China's right to a national security legislation. And in fact, this law is now does make it illegal for foreign entities to interfere in Hong Kong. But certainly the protesters, as they've been chanting today, they hope and expect that other countries will continue to voice out for the democracy movement in Hong Kong. But it's unclear whether people are going to be arrested simply for wielding foreign flags, calling for intervention, as they have been doing in recent months. But it seems that those scenes over recent months is what has inflamed Beijing to enact laws against foreign interference. And certainly we know that should any of these pro-democracy groups seek to enlist foreign politicians to intervene again, that may be enough for the police to arrest them indeed.
There are voices of criticism, but do you see China attracting global sanctions as a result of this law?
Well, the UK has said that it will allow some sort of lifeboat scheme whereby those with British overseas national passports that were given to people after the 1997 handover will be allowed to settle in the UK in some way. And the US has a much sort of richer board of sanctions that they've already started to enact in terms of visa restrictions and maybe some trade restrictions. But whether the rest of the world has the appetite to punish China in terms of the trade, with it being a huge trade partner, is yet to be seen.
Thank you, Tom, and stay safe. This was Tom Grundy, editor-in-chief of the Hong Kong Free Press, joining us live from Hong Kong.